Krucifix Productions.
Everyone, this is Veronica Pearson with the Billionaires Report, and today we're talking to Felicia Gray, half of the Gray duo that hosts the Gray Classic every year in Charlotte, North Carolina. So how are you doing, Ms. Gray?
I'm doing well, Veronica. How are you?
I'm fine. I want to thank you for welcoming us today to talk to us about the Gray Classic, which is a fundraising event that they do every year to sponsor the 100 Black Men of Charlotte. And we wanted to give you a close and personal look at what started the event, the women's luncheon, and what this event does for the community. So what made you and your husband decide to do the Gray Classic every year?
Well, the Gray Classic started 4 years ago. Well, 4 years ago, right after we got married. Herb and I have been married 5 years. We had a summertime get-together at our home. And right before a summertime get-together, several men got together. Maybe about 5 or 6 guys got together and played golf. And later on, maybe about a week or two later, Herb said, I want to do a golf tournament. And I said, sure, let's do a golf tournament. And we said, we want to identify a cause to benefit from this golf tournament. And so it snowballed from there. We lived in a community, had a golf course, so it was easy to bring people together at the golf tournament, at the golf course in our house. And then we said, well, since we're bringing people together, let's just find a cause to support. The first year of the Gray Classic, we supported the Urban League of the Carolinas. And then we identified the 100 Black Men of Charlotte because I know Herb, we know a lot of the men there. We really love what they stand for, and that's supporting and mentoring young males. They say youth, but the majority of the program is pretty much for young African American males. And it's a very rigorous program. These men are partner of. They meet once a month. And also as part of the mentoring program, they have a commitment from the parents that they do an event also with the parents of these mentors.
Because you can't get the kids without getting the parents.
Get the parents.
So what made you decide to add the women's part, the women luncheon to it?
Well, one thing, after the very first year of the Gray Classic, a lot of women said, oh, this was great, but I don't play golf. But I want to be a part. Can I volunteer? How can I be a part? And I do not play golf. And
join the club?
Yeah, and a lot of women don't, but they want to be a part. And then also, I said, well, Herb, let's just have brunch for the women, and that way we could support the cause and also bring women together to network. Guys are doing it on the golf course. Let's do it over mimosas and good conversation.
Do you find by bringing the men and the women together, it helped bring more clarity or unity to different events for the 100 Black Men of Charlotte, like more support with businesses in the local area or the community?
I think it definitely gave more exposure to the 100 Black Men of Charlotte. I know that they definitely some of the volunteers from some of the sponsors organizations. I got approached by 2 women last year within an hour time span to say, how can I get my son in this program? How can I get my son in the program? So I definitely think it's brought awareness to the 100 Black Men's Movement of Youth program. And it also brought awareness to the actual organization itself, because in addition, the 100 Black Men have got additional members who men say, I've seen the Gray Classic, I'm seeing you guys in the community, how can I be a part? I want to help. I think when we went to an event when my husband was officially inducted into 100 Black Men, there were 3 men that would join the organization who just relocated to Charlotte. Heard about the program, wanted to be involved, and actually one of the men was from Detroit, and he had been a mentee himself of the 100 Black Men, and he came there with his wife and child. They wanted to support because think about it, in Detroit, if he hadn't had a mentor looking after him, guiding him every step of the way, in some areas, particularly some of our cities, these kids can go either left or right. So it's important to have that. And if you take a look at the actual Great Classic, it's a golf tournament, but we built a weekend around it. Friday night we have a happy hour. Last year, this year is at Delta's. And Delta's is a new restaurant in Charlotte.
Yeah, we looked at the menu. I was like, it looks very delicious.
It looks very delicious. And I'm going to put this out. It's owned by an African American male.
Yeah, and I saw that when I was reading about it. So that's what made me like, I want to go.
I mean, you know, it's in the owner there. The proceeds from the happy hour will be donated to the movement of youth, to the 100 Black Men. And then afterwards, later on that evening, on that Saturday, we're actually having an after party, our party with a purpose at Kalu. Donations, proceeds from the event of that party is going to go to the program. So we, in addition to having, I guess, the nuclei of the Great Classic weekend, is the actual golf tournament, and the sisters supported that as the Women's Empowerment Brunch. We branched it out to brand it and get have these other events where proceeds go to it all weekend. So if you can't make golf tournament, women's brunch, there are 5 other events that you can make to actually support the cause. And in addition to supporting the cause, you get an opportunity to network.
And that's what I liked about it, that the different events went from the golf classic to the brunch to an after event at after event at Ruth Chris, another event at Kalu, another event at Delta, and that also showcased the Charlotte businesses to different people who might have not went, and also with a group of like-minded people. And so one of the things you find, if you get these like-minded people together, like one of the things we know we face in the African American community with youth is the dropout rates, the increased incarceration, or the literacy rates. Do you find that giving to the 100 Black Men, the things they have done in the community, do you think that's helping, or what a lot of the things you want us to challenge or want them to change?
Well, one thing, I think it supports the 100 Black Men, but I think it also makes us it attracts a group of African Americans who are educated, and it makes them think about how else can I get involved in the community. Because if you look at, okay, this little couple, me from Virginia, my husband from Durham, North Carolina, we get together, bring it together. It's also, I think, broadening awareness and putting on the mindset of how else can other individuals in the Charlotte community get involved. Get involved. If it's not with the 100 Black Men, it could be volunteering for a program that people have at their churches. I mean, I think it puts it in front of us that too much is given,
much is expected. And I also think it also makes the younger generation, other people say, oh, well, you can't say African Americans don't care, because they're doing something, and you don't have to wait on the government or things like that. You can get in your own community. It takes one person to keep chipping away at things.
And you know one thing, Veronica, we've had a couple of individuals, males, that says, I do not golf. I will pay for a kid to golf. So we have several high school students who are going to be out there golfing also. We've had a gentleman who's paying for 4 kids to golf. And to get them ready for that tournament, they're going through lessons right now. I mean, to get them ready. Because you think about it, that everyone always says, deals are made on the golf course.
It is.
Business deals are made on the golf course. But if our kids don't know how to play golf, they're not going to be a part of those business deals.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
That's the thing. Yeah, I mean, it's easy. It's nothing against other sports, but that's where they say those deals are made, that networking. So with the Great Classics of Piggyback, you're going to get a mentee, you're going to mentor a young man, he's going to stay in school, and one of the umbrellas of the 100 Black Men's programs, they provide scholarships. So they get there, they get into college, because those kids that come out of that mentoring program go to college, they get out of college. Now, they've been a part of these programs. They've had an opportunity to network and hopefully polish their skills, because they send them through workshops that they're able to go and sit, interview, and if they go to a room of more seasoned individuals, they know how to walk up to them and say hello and receive a business card. And if need be, if someone says, well, I'm going out to play, you hear them say, they can go out there and play on the golf course with them. I mean, so I think it has a long-term effect to support these young men to enable them with the tools to be successful.
I like the way that sounds, because we have to give them things outside of the classroom.
Outside of the
I'm all
classroom.
about making entrepreneurs, as we know at the Billionaire Support and the Certified Show. We want to make entrepreneurs, not just worker bees.
The worker bees. And
Yeah.
you know, one thing about the program to see with these mentees, my husband's an entrepreneur.
Mhm.
He's an entrepreneur. He's owned his own business. Ever since I've known him, he's owned his own business. And there are several guys that play golf, that play a part of the golf tournament, who are also entrepreneurs. So if someone has an opportunity to meet someone who started their own business, doing their own business, or somebody who works for a corporation, who works in corporate America, and even we have individuals that may work in small business.
Mhm.
We have several educators out there that are working in CMS, Gaston County schools, even on the university level. So you get a large gamut of individuals with different professional backgrounds. And so in addition to benefiting you, it may be an opportunity for them to meet someone new and to do some different type of business.
How do you feel when you see other nationalities or ethnicities out on the field playing or coming into this saying, I want to be part of the Great Classic? and because we want to get more African Americans, and we love that because it's showing that we care. But how do you feel, when you have more ethnicity, you're like, okay, well, you care.
You care.
You care. Thank you.
It's actually pretty interesting
Mhm.
because, like, even with the men, the golfers, there are a lot of really great women
Mhm.
that come to the brunch. I mean, that love that was in the room, because a part of the women's empowerment brunch, the empowerment we say comes from within.
Yes.
Because there are some really, really great women that are here in Charlotte. If you don't have to be an SVP at a bank, but you're running your household, that your whole household, your kids get their own time. Your finances are in the black. Now, if that don't require management skills, we're the best deals in Charlotte to get certain services, or what's something that you got from your mom or your grandmother that has enabled you, that are words that you live by. So it's just like little things that you can build off of other women, because in today's society, you hear so much negativity, and we always trying to tear each other down. And that's kind of heartbreaking to see that. So that's another reason why it gives an opportunity to be around like-minded individuals. And Veronica, before I started down that path, you asked me the question about other ethnic groups, about wanting to be a part.
Like when they are a part of it, if you have, Caucasians or Filipinos and they're coming in, and so you want to say, like, okay, what are you getting from this? How are you helping to build these black men up if you're coming to the classic or supporting the event? Because you have sponsors from corporations, but it must mean like they see something in this, or they see the business aspect of it.
I think it's twofold. I think they see the importance of supporting youth, because everyone knows we're not going to be here tomorrow. And a lot of these businesses, even if they want their businesses to grow and to be here for 20 years, they have to support the consumers of their business, or who's also going to carry on running their businesses. So you look at that. You can look at that twofold. Like if one of our sponsors is the women's class, or the Great Classic Women's Brunch is Bell. 65, 30 years from now, I'm not gonna be running out buying the latest shoes, because I love it, but I'm physically, financially, it's gonna be different. But you think about somebody that's 14 now, they're gonna be 30-some years old. So Belk is gonna want somebody to be around to support their company and buy from that company. And then two, it exposes them to a group of individuals that's probably kind of hard to probably tap into and get them all in one place. So I think that's twofold. And I think also in just realistically in the economy, if you want to see and market to our event is African American centric. That some sponsors that may want to get an opportunity to also get exposure in the African American community. This is an avenue for them to have exposure in the African American community.
Well, that's good, and it helps the African American community also see, okay, well, if they're willing to support us, then it makes you like you're willing to support them.
Yes.
But one of the things I did like about seeing the brunch involved in that a couple of years ago, I was like, okay, I like the brunch because even though the men are on the golf course and they're making all these decisions, a lot of them do defer to the women in their lives, like, well, what do you think? You know, we were talking about this on the field, and women are more prone to say, I think we should, because we look at the emotional side of the child or the mentor, the person who's being a mentor. And we look at that where the men say, okay, I know the difficulty of society with all these statistics of black men are this and black women are this. And so I love that about the Great Classic. And when I met your husband, I was like, okay, he was genuine. You know, he was the real person. I can see it came from a genuine place of helping people and helping the community. And so I was like, well, I gotta meet your wife now, you know, to make sure she tells us why, like, I'm here, like, I don't play golf, but I'm gonna support some kind of way.
And you know, and the one thing about him, my husband, I'm gonna take it personal. He is a really great man. I mean, and I understand that. I'm gonna give him that because he'll wake up. He woke up and said, "I want to do this," and I said, "Okay." And then he did the golf tournament, and I looked around, and a year later, I said, "Honey, I want to do a women's brunch." He rolled his eyes off the hips and said, "Okay, let's do it." So I mean, because you know, we have to take responsibility for our own. We have to take responsibility, you know, of our own, because if we don't do it, no one else is going to do it, and they just going to walk to the other side of the sidewalk when they see them coming, or you know, even if it's just exposure. We think about our youth, but us as individual grown African American women, how they may approach us, you know, like, okay, let me brace myself for what's gonna come out of her mouth.
Because they look at us as a whole.
Yeah,
you know, when they watch television shows and they look at like, oh, Felicia must act like them, or Veronica must act like them. You're like, no, we don't.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
And it helps them see that everyone comes together for this cause. Because, like you said, if we don't show we care about us, no one else is gonna be invested. They're like, well, they don't even care about themselves. But we do have people from the 100, you know, black men in Charlotte, to the Grays, to other people in the community that are showing that they care. You know, when we do the certified show, Samaritan's Feet, different things, they're showing that they care, but it's not, you know, advertised or in the media as much as everything else, you know, because it's sensationalism sales. You know?
And you know, and I gotta give props to the Charlotte community. Because Charlotte is a really, I think it's a great city, and for the support that we've gotten for events that we've done in the city. I mean, I go back to Food Line with Chris and Curtis Osborne, you know, he owns a law firm here, and they've come aboard to support us. And Herb and I've been looking where there's void or someone needs it, and we want to step in. And the Charlotte community has really shown us a lot of love to support us, to let us go out, and they enable us to be able to do what we do. Because if we didn't have man above helping us to get up and give us the strength and the mindset to do it, and also to lay it on people's hearts to support us, and that's the supporters, the sponsors, the attendees. Because if we didn't have that, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So they must see something in us to support us with their dollars and their time and their energy. And the third weekend of July, it's hot.
That's
hot.
Real loyalty there.
That's hot.
You know, like Felicia, I'm in the luncheon with Felicia.
I'm hot. Yeah, I'm hot. You know, it's hot to get out there, and so it's really a really great event. Like I said, if you come to the tournament, you're going to see those young men out there with those golf courses. And the one thing about the 100 black men, when those young men come out, they're in pants with belts. You know, shirts with
all the way to the waist.
Those pants, they have those pants on, they have on belts, and those pants are tucked in. But you guys all know, when you walk around that mall or go anywhere else, them pants are not tucked, the belt's not drawn, and those pants are not tucked in. So even just to see that in those young men, and you could just tell a difference that maybe some of their counterparts, you could see the mentee program at work, you know, because you see they're being mentored by men who are doing the right thing. So
And that's the good thing about it. They're taking little steps, and so they set examples for other people in the community who might not be a part of the 100 Black Men Mentor Program. So what do you want people to take away from this golf classic, or the Great Classic every year? What do you want them to take away from it? And what do you want them to bring to it at the same time?
Okay, I want them to see, okay, we're supporting you, that we're looking to make this a signature event for the Charlotte area, that people know third weekend in July is Great Classic weekend, that that you know that this is coming, this event is going to be here, and they're supporting a good cause, they're supporting the youth, and it's also an opportunity to get exposure, to make some networking connections, and probably also to hear and see the names of some businesses that they may not be aware of. I tell women at the brunch, one thing I say, you better walk away from here meeting someone new. Well, in that car, get their contact information, and you make a new friend. And it's kind of funny that we've had actually some love connections made at the great
Like-minded people.
Yeah, like-minded people. So it's an opportunity to support a good cause, make some great friends, make some great connections, and support local businesses.
And want to thank. And if you want to get your tickets for the Great Classic, understand it sells out every year. It sells out. So you can go to www.thegreatclassic.
The Great Classic. We spell it the right way. THE.
thegreatclassic.com, and you can see the guest speakers for the brunch. You can also look at the itinerary that goes from Thursday to Sunday, and it is going to be a fabulous event that showcases how Charlotte does community work. And want to thank y'all for joining us today during the Billionaires Report. And you know that you can listen to the Billionaires Report every Tuesday through Saturday on the Certified Show on WGIV 103.3.